series 105-98, and honestly Celtics didn't even play that well, especially offensively. Jrue Holiday was unbelievable for Boston, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Derek White hit a huge three to make it a 10-point lead. They were up 90-83, hits a three to make it a 10-point lead, but had a monster block late in the game with the Mavs down 5 points. PJ Washington's going for a dunk. Derek White comes from behind, blocks the shot. Clearly a foul by Jaylen Brown that was not called in that spot. But this was a game last night where the Boston Celtics just kind of stayed the course, right? They were awful from behind the line, the three-point line. Dallas had a million turnovers, missed a ton of free throws. They got a triple-double from a banged-up Luka. Kyrie was terrible in quarters 2 through 4 in the game. Porzingis did get hurt last night for the Celtics. He's claiming he's going to play in game 3. But this feels, in the 9th straight win for Boston this postseason, pretty commanding as a 2-0 lead right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is the series going to get back to Boston? Is it? Because it doesn't feel like it right now. It feels like the Celtics are firmly in control of this thing, and Jason Kidd is scrambling for answers. Right now, Joe Mazzulla is running laps around him. There are no answers. Like the whole high pick and roll situation and being able to get Luka or Kyrie Irving downhill in the paint where they can be a triple threat, that's gone now.
Yep.
Like that's done. Like they can't do anything. You saw there were time and time again where Luka got into the paint, and Boston's defense, with guys being able to stay in front, guys being able to rotate over to help out, they muddied the picture so Luka didn't know whether he should take the shot or whether he should try to kick. It resulted in several turnovers, leading out to runouts for the Boston Celtics. Easy offense for them. And so I think for the Boston Celtics, it starts on the defensive end because, like you said, they didn't play well, especially early on in last night's game. The first quarter, they shot 36% from the field and 1 of 9 from three-point land. They were awful. But yet, this was a team that was able to generate 21 points off of 15 Mavs turnovers. To me, that's where this game was decided, with the Celtics being stingy on defense and using that to create easy opportunities on the offensive end.
Yeah, the Celtics certainly didn't play the best game that they could have, especially Jason Tatum offensively. But that doesn't matter because they have the better team as a whole. We spent so much time having the discussion over which duo is better, Luka and Kyrie or Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But when it comes down to it, the Celtics team as a whole is just better than Dallas, and they've been doing so. When you have an offensive output like you're getting from Jason Tatum and they put together a performance last night that's good but not great, that's when Dallas needs to take advantage of that. Especially early on when they came out, it felt like they really were much better than they were in game 1. They made a statement, and it still wasn't enough. And you talked a lot about Brad Stevens last week, Evan, and the magnificent job he's done assembling this team. And Bob Myers in the postgame, when he was asked who's the MVP of this series so far, he didn't pick a player. He picked Brad Stevens because we're just seeing right now that the Boston Celtics as a team are that much better than everybody else.
1,000% right. And it's interesting. Tatum is going to get ripped a little bit for his offensive production relative to scoring. But I actually liked what he did last night because I think there was a realization, like, I just don't have it. Let me get everybody else involved. And his ball movement and distribution was tremendous. And we ripped the Mavs after game 1 for not doing exactly what Jason Tatum did last night, which is move the ball. The Mavs had less possessions in game 1 of this series than any team all season in the entire NBA. They just did not move the ball. So if you're going to realize, hey, this is not my night, what else can I do? We're showing the highlights on ESPN2. Tatum was basically playing a point forward last night beautifully. The other guy is Jrue Holiday. This guy is remarkable. It's amazing for me as a Heat fan. Miami not getting Dame Lillard won the Celtics the championship. No, I'm serious. Like, if Miami gets Dame Lillard, Jrue Holiday's still on the Bucks, and Boston is not winning this title because they're not going to be here like this. Jrue Holiday was so great last night. He stands at 6'4". We know he's wide and strong, but he played like the dunker spot at times last night near the basket. He was slashing and cutting and like rim running. You would have thought he was a 6'11" power forward center type playing near the basket. He was so good last night. This Celtics team, they're not losing. No. I mean, let's be honest. This is over.
No, I mean, Jason Tatum is the fourth.
I just did what Pat and
Jason Tatum is the 4th best player through 2 games for the Boston Celtics in this series.
And they're up 2-0.
And the crazy thing is Jason Tatum came 1 rebound away from having a triple-double. Like, I mean, he's found ways to contribute. So I'm glad that you're giving Jason Tatum some love. Everybody's going to jump out of the window with Jrue Holiday. Not saying that Jrue Holiday wasn't awesome, but Jason Tatum deserves a little bit of respect for what he's doing. Because even though he's gone, 12 or 38 from the field through the first 2 games, he's finding other ways to contribute to his team's success. Being able to set other guys up, having 12 dimes last night, that stuff matters. Being a catalyst for a lot of the plays that they had when they went on that 10-0 run in the middle of the third quarter, that matters. Being able to attract a lot of attention from the Mavs defense so other guys can get off, that matters. And so I think Jason Tatum, even though he's not putting up the points in this series, make no mistake about it, he is contributing to his team's success and deserves that respect. Now, when it comes to trying to nail down who's going to win series MVP, is it going to be Jaylen Brown? Is it going to be Jrue Holiday? Is it going to be Tatum? You know who doesn't care about that conversation? The guys in the Boston Celtics locker room.
They do not care.
And the way that they've played displays that. Now, I think moving forward, the thing to watch for the C's is Kristaps Porzingis, because he had a little bit of an issue, lower body injury at the end of that game. They're going to do a study to see what's going on with it, probably an MRI. We'll see what that result is. But barring any injury from Kristaps Porzingis or any of the other players, this is going to be a short series for the Celtics. I'm thinking this thing could be a sweep. That's how
not crazy.
That's how it looks right now, because they still haven't played at their best. They had one blowout game, and then they had, in game 2, when they were going to get the Mavs' best punch, a situation where they were firmly in control of that game from midway through the third quarter on. So I am impressed with what the Celtics have been able to do. And the thing that's probably the most surprising about it is they're doing it with defense, where I thought they would be doing it with the offensive output with the three-point shots. That is not how they are winning this series. And I think the guys in that locker room and their head coach, Joe Mazzulla, deserve all the credit in the world for being able to win this way, where we didn't know that they had that tool in their bag.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad we're all in lockstep about Jason Tatum's performance, because last night I'm watching this game, and of course, offensively, you would want better numbers from Tatum, but he's making key defensive plays. We talked about the assists, the rebounds, and Jrue Holiday talked about it after the game, about how much of their success last night was because Jason Tatum made the right basketball plays. And I loved what he said after the game about how he doesn't have to be the number one guy on the team in order for them to have success. And he's happy to put his ego aside. Yes, he would like to have a better output offensively, but at the end of the day, all he cares about is his team winning. And I think that is a great mentality from a leader.
No question about that. I often say my favorite Kobe Bryant game ever was his Game 7 against the Celtics in the 2010 finals, where he was awful from the floor, and he grabbed 15 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, and played great defense. Great players find ways to win. Jason Tatum doesn't have it right this second in terms of his shooting percentage. Guy gets 12 assists last night and 9 rebounds and plays good defense. That's a great player. It's not just scoring points for individually. It's making sure the rest of your team scores points. Now, you mentioned about the Porzingis injury. He did give an update last night post-game about his injury.
How are you feeling right now, and what's your prognosis going forward?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I don't think it's anything serious, but we'll look at it tomorrow and go from there. But all good. I'll be good.
Were you nervous when it happened? Were you a little scared?
Nah, I kept playing. You know, some bumps and bruises happened throughout the game, but I'll be good.
He says all good, all good. I mean, there's an argument, in my opinion, guys, to leave him in Boston and wait for a Game 5. Here's the problem. He may not be able to celebrate a championship with his team if you do that.
Yeah, he ain't living in Boston.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, like if they split the first two, maybe, I don't know. Just you bring him with you, but I don't know that he needs to play. He's been a key, but if he's
been great defensively.
I know.
He's been the as a rim protector.
Do you take the
We
risk?
think about it. Remember, before the series started, we wondered whether or not he'd be a liability defensively.
That's not the case.
That is not the case at all. I mean, this guy is. I mean, he's cleaning the glass. He's pinning shots. I mean, this guy has been awesome. He's been everywhere, and he's put his imprint on the first 2 games of this series. That is a big piece of what the Boston Celtics are doing defensively. And I mean, if he says he can go, I don't know how you can keep him off the court if you're Joe Mazzulla.
Probably won't. All right, there's the Boston side of it. I think we've done a pretty good job of praising Boston, all happy-go-lucky here and smiling, right? Well, there's the Dallas side of this. We will get to that coming up on Sportsmanlike. It's presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.